everyone, and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back, and thank you for supporting me. I'm Coretta. Today's video is for my Cricut beginners. If you're thinking about getting a machine, you received your machine for Christmas, or you've had your machine for a while, and now you're ready to dive in. Well, this video is for you. This video will go over the basics of how to use Cricut Design Space. Come on, guys, let's get started. Okay, so after you have downloaded the app, set up your account, and registered your machine, you are ready to create your first project. But before you do that, let's review what Cricut Design Space is. So here we are on the Cricut Design Space homepage. This is the page that will open when you open the Cricut Design Space app. It should be noted that Cricut Design Space is free to use. On this screen, you will see on the top menu, there are some options. On the top right, there are 3 horizontal lines. If you select these 3 horizontal lines, it will take you to the Design Space menu. Here, you will be able to go to the home screen, to the canvas. You will be able to set up new product, calibrate your machine. You will be able to manage custom materials, update your firmware. You will be able to view your account details. You can also link cartridges from the older model Cricut machines to your account. Here, this is the Cricut Access account where you can check on your subscription. Please know that you do not need a subscription in order to use Cricut Design Space app. Okay? So then there are settings and all the legal stuff, what's new, the country you're in, any help if you need it. So you can find frequently asked questions in here. And here you can also sign out of the app. Next, you have My Stuff. This is where it will take you to where you want to select your projects that you've been working on. So My Stuff is where you would go for that. Also, if you have multiple machines connected to your Design Space app, it will be here. And here you would select the machine that you are working on, and then you want to make sure that you select the machine that you will be working on, so that when you're designing, the machine will have the functions that are available to your machine. So you want to go here. Last, there is New Projects. This option will take you to the canvas. So let's select New Projects. Now that you've selected New Projects, you can see that the top menu still looks the same, except for now you have a save option that's here. And this is where, when you start your project, you want to save your project so that if something happens, like the power go out or Cricut Design Space crash, you will have your last saved version of your project. And then you have the Make It, which is this green button, and it's grayed out a little bit, but it's green. This is for when you have finished designing your project and you can send your project to the machine to be cut. So now we're going to take a look at the left menu bar. On the left menu bar, the first icon is new. This is where you will create a whole new project. So say you were working here and you didn't want anything, then you didn't want what was here. You wanted to start over. You would hit new and it would create a new canvas, a new blank canvas. The second icon is templates. These can be used as references to design a project. I personally don't use them, but I have seen others use them. And so you can use these templates when you are designing things and you want to see what your design will look like on a template of the object that you are designing for. The third icon is projects. These are Cricut Access projects that you can use for inspiration. Here you will find inspirational projects that are available for Cricut Access members and free ones. So you will know that this is a Cricut Access project if you see this green A next to the project. You can filter these projects to free projects, and the free projects will not have the A next to it. So again, remember, you do not need to subscribe to Cricut Access to use these projects, because there are projects here that you can use for free. The fourth icon is shapes. Here you will find all of the basic shapes, in addition to more shapes that are available to Cricut Access subscribers. The most used shapes here are the triangle, the square, and the circle. The fifth icon is images. This is where you will find all of Cricut's images. They have over 250,000 images. These images are for use with your Cricut Access subscription, but again, there are some free images available if you do not have a subscription. The images are categorized by subject, graphics, or theme. And then they have the highlighted categories of featured, the recently added, the popular ones, the free ones, and the images that come in a set. The sixth icon is text. So when you select this, you can add text to your canvas and you can use it in your design. So here the blue box will appear, and you will just simply highlight the text and then type the word that you want to include in your design. You can use the fonts that are installed on your computer, or you can use the Cricut fonts. To select a font, you would make sure that the text is selected, and then you would go to the top menu bar, and on the font drop down, you would select your font. So here you can select Cricut fonts, or you can select system fonts, which are fonts that are installed on your computer. You can select bookmark or recent. You can also search for fonts that you kind of like and are familiar with by typing the font in the search font feature. Let's search for a font that I like to use, and it's called Baby Child. So we're going to search for a baby child. For the Cricut Access, baby child does not show up. But for the system font, baby child will show up, as we saw earlier. So once you have the font that you're looking for, you select the font and then you X out of the font selection. You can control the size of your font by using the squares that are around the font. You can choose it, you can size it that way, or you can size it by going up to the toolbar that's directly above the canvas and type in the font. You can also rotate the font by positioning the mouse on the corner, and when you see the rotate symbol appear, then you can turn your font in any direction that you want to turn your font in. So on the toolbar directly above the canvas are some other font features, such as style, where you can choose whether you want it to be regular, bold, italic. There's font size, so you can change the size of your fonts. There is letter spacing, where you can change how wide or how far apart you want your font to be. There is line spacing, so if you had 2 lines here, you can determine how far apart you want your 2 lines to be. You can also align your font left, center, right, top, center, bottom. You can wrap off or wrap on. You can curve your text, so you can curve it in any direction that you want it to go. And then there's advanced here, where you can ungroup your letters, you can ungroup the lines, or you can ungroup the layers. When using cursive text as a cut file, you want to make sure that you weld them together so that they don't cut individually. So I'm going to zoom in so you can see. I'm going to change the color here so we can see a little better. And I'm going to zoom in some more because I want you to be able to see it. So as you can see here, the E and the L appears to be one. The E and the L appears to be as one, but there's a cut line here. And so when you send this to cut, Cricut is going to cut this line, and it's going to separate the vinyl with the letters. It's going to separate the vinyl. And so to make this one continuous flow, you want to make sure that your text is selected, and then you want to go down to the bottom right and you want to select weld. So you want to weld your text together. And when you weld your text together, you can see that now you have one continuous flow of your text. And now the Cricut machine will cut it as one whole piece versus each individual letter. So I'm going to zoom back down to 100%. And we're going to visit the 7th icon. The 7th icon is phrases. These are phrases. I mean, they are just phrases. You can use these phrases and images to make greeting cards, or you can use them as designs as well. And similar to images and projects, these are for Cricut Access membership. And they also have free ones that you can use as well. The A would indicate the Cricut Access subscription. The ones without the A would indicate free. The 8th icon is edible images. Edible images are images that you can change some of the text. And similar to images, these are available with your Cricut Access subscription, but there are free images available as well. The 9th icon is upload. This icon is what is used the most. And this is how you will get images to the canvas that you have purchased and or downloaded to your computer. To upload a downloaded file, you would go to upload, which is here, the icon on the left. Then you would go to upload images. You would select browse. You will then browse to where your image is selected. And I'm just going to browse and I'm going to select the image that I already have downloaded on my computer. And you will select the Microsoft Edge HTML document, which is an SVG file. Then you will select open. The image will download as a cut file. So then you will hit upload in the bottom right hand corner. You will hit upload. And then on your recent uploads, you will select the image that you want. And then you will add it to Canvas. And you would select add to Canvas, which is on your bottom right hand corner. Now the image is on the canvas, and I am going to review some of the options that are available on the top menu bar. So on the far left, you have the undo and the redo button. Next, you have the operation function. Here you can change this SVG from a basic cut file to a draw file where you can use the pen, the folding tool, or a scoring tool, or you can turn it into a print then cut or a guide. Also on the operation field, you can change the color field. Remember, the cut file will not be the color that you changed it to. The color will be the color of the vinyl you put on the mat. Next, we have edit. Edit is the basic cut, copy, paste, duplicate, and delete features. Also, there is align. So by selecting two objects, you can select align, and you can align both of these objects left, center horizontally, align them right, align them top, center vertically, or align them bottom, or you can just center them to each other, both horizontally and vertically. With two objects selected, you can also arrange. So you can arrange by moving one of the two objects forward, to the front, backwards, or to the back. You can group them and ungroup them. You can also flip them horizontal. So if you just had one of the images selected, you can flip it horizontally or vertically. You can add an offset, which the offset allows you to add a shadow layer to the font or the image. And to do that, you would just change the distance based on how big you want your shadow layer to be. You would just change the distance here. Next is size. So let me get rid of this text that we have here, and then I'm going to pull this up a little bit. So next, if you want to size your image, you can size your image like text. You can pull from the corners, or you can go up to the top menu bar and you can resize the image by typing in the width and the height. You can resize this with the proportion lock on, which will resize the image proportionately if you change the width or the height. Or you can unlock the proportion and change both the width and the height to the dimensions that you want. So with the proportions locked, I'm going to change the width to 5. And it's going to proportionately change the height to 2.678. But if I unlock it and I change the width to 9 and hit enter, it's going to change the width to 9, but it's going to leave the height at 2.681. And so I'm going to change it to 8, and then it'll change it to 8. So you can change the width to, with the proportion lock unlock, you can change the width and the height to whatever you want it to be. There is rotate. So if you don't want to rotate your design with the rotate feature here, you can rotate your design here by moving the up or down arrow, or putting in the you can put in the number like 90 degrees, 180 degrees, 360, and that will also rotate your image as well. Then you have position. Position is the X and Y axle of your image. So it basically tells you where your image is positioned. So here, the position is saying that this image is located 2.301 inches on the X axle, which is here. So the X axle is the horizontal, and it's saying that on the Y axle, it is located on the 1.667, which is the Y axle is the vertical. So you can change the X axis to 8 and hit enter, and it will move it to the 8. And then you can change the Y axle to 1, and it would just move it to the 1 axle. So it's on 8 and 1. That's the position that the image will be located on your canvas. Now, let's take a look at the layers panel. You can see there are 3 different layers here on the layers panel. Currently, all 3 of these layers are grouped together. So on the layers panel at the top, you can ungroup, you can ungroup or group, you can duplicate, or you can delete. On the bottom of the layers panel, you have your blank canvas. Here, you can change, if you select the blank canvas, you can change the color of your canvas by going up to the color swatch. And here you can change the color of your canvas to whatever you want the color of your canvas to be. We're going to turn it back white for the purpose of this tutorial. Also, you have slice. You have the slice feature, and the slice feature is where you have 2 or more objects. So you can put in I'm going to put in a square because you need 2 or more objects to use the slice feature. And basically the slice feature is you select 2 or more objects, and it will allow you to slice. Slice is just a cookie cutter where it slices out a portion of the objects. So it's a cookie cutter. It cuts shapes or text from other shapes and text. There's also the combine. So if you wanted to combine, under combine, you will find weld, unite, subtract, intersect, and exclude. The most useful option would be to weld. And when you weld, it turns everything into one object. Then next we have attach. Attach basically holds your image together so that the image, when it is sent to the cutting mat, it will look exactly as it is arranged on the canvas. Then there's the flatten option. This is when you have your layers all selected into one layer. It will remove any internal cut lines from the selected layers, then change the new merged image to a print then cut instead of a cut image. Note, the Cricut Joy does not have the print then cut feature. Lastly, there is contour. Contour allows you to hide portions of an image by turning off individual cut lines within the image. So now we've gone over how to upload a cut file and how to use the features that go with that step. We have one more icon. The final icon on the left toolbar is monogram. Here you can create a variety of custom monograms. This feature is available for Cricut Access subscription members only at this time. So if you don't have a subscription membership, you will not be able to utilize this feature. All right, guys, that's my overview of Cricut Design Space. If you like this video and would like to see more, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will respond back. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.